Well, let's crack into it then.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm ready. So ready. Let me get
Welcome
my
back.
roster in front of me. Oh shit. God damn it.
You're good, man. No, you're good. Pull it
Sorry,
up.
man.
Pull that shit up.
Not frazzled.
No, you're good.
You do you. Do it.
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Draft Research. You are the audience, and together we are on a quest for Dynasty domination. How's it going over there, Daniel?
Going good, man. Coming fresh off of holiday weekend.
Yep. Merry
Was a busy,
Christmas,
busy.
everybody. Hope you
Absolutely.
hope
Hope
you
you
had
guys
great
enjoyed
holidays.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
know we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big news in the RDR world, dude. You break it to them. Let them know.
Yeah, so me and Dan made it in the finals of our Jersey League, so it's going to be some RDR on RDR violence happening. It's pretty exciting. I think we both have good rosters. We're going to do a little roster breakdown for you. So, with me, it's a super flex, so I'm starting unless somebody gets hurt or Michael Pittman can't play. This is going to be my starting roster. Matthew Stafford and Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Been rolling with them
Sweet.
all off season or all season, and they've been pretty good for me. Rashad White, B. John Robinson, and then CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, and Michael Pittman as my three receivers. And Trey McBride going to be rolling out at tight end. So, do you want to roll through yours real quick?
Yeah, absolutely, man. This just looking at my roster makes me laugh pretty hard. Um, but yeah, right now I think I'm going with Dak
Okay,
and Josh Allen.
makes sense.
Um, and then Jameer Gibbs can be good for me. Aaron Jones, I'm pretty excited about. Got him back in rotation. Um, I'm flexing James Conner right now. Just traded for him at the deadline,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's been kicking ass these past couple weeks. And then I've got Terry McLaurin and Amari Cooper. So Amari Cooper lighting up the world, coming off that sweet week. That was also an in-season trade. People were giving me shade for trading Swift for him, but looking
Hey.
okay. And then the conundrum of the year. I've been riding Sam Laporta all year, but I've got Njoku, and I'm like,
Mm,
I can't decide on that one.
that's tough.
But I'm
Got it.
happy, man. You were last place, and this
Yeah, I
was
did
a
not expect this at all. I was given a little, the tiniest little bit of cheek in the chat today. But no, I did not expect to be here. I thought I was going to be bottom of the barrel again, potentially. Like I was hoping, literally, I think I remember saying to Danny, if Richardson and Bryce Young look good and I can get like the fourth or fifth pick, I'll feel really good about the season. But now here we are, and
not getting that pick, dude.
there it is. Well, that's fine. I'm good with that. Chance at the ship. A guaranteed jersey. Maybe not.
Yes.
Maybe not guaranteed to pick who I want to pick, but um, should be
You got it
fun.
stacked though, man. I have no idea what jersey I would pick. I don't have really any of my Homer league kind of like no Chiefs. I already got a Terry McLaurin jersey. It's going to be a weird one. So I got
Yeah,
to win.
I've got Dobbs as far as Packers, but like, there's only 187 in this household in the Green Bay
Oh,
Packers.
wow.
I'm sorry. Not. I love Dobbs, but I'm not going to buy a Dobbs jersey. Uh,
I'm with you, dude.
like I got my Jordy
You're going
Nelson
to have to go
jersey.
Jahan.
It's still retired. So we'll see. I mean, if I win, I can pick whoever. So I guess that is what it is, right? That's the rule.
I guess so. Yeah, that is the last year's guy got a what did he get, a Randy Moss jersey?
Yeah, I think
So
so. So
doesn't even have to be an active NFL player. So you
yeah.
do what you do. But you went from the Russell Wilson shame jersey to the championship. So
To
you
the
must have
ship.
taken that jersey to heart,
I
dude.
took it
So
serious. It was
I
rough.
like that.
Well,
Hell yeah.
anyway, without further ado, so if you've been following us the last few weeks, we've been reviewing the season, handing out some awards. We're going to combine the quarterbacks and tight ends this week. So just kind of rolling with the same format. You want to get into our first little award and then kick it back to me, and I'll hit you with the first guy.
You got it, man. Yeah. So we'll see. First week, we both had an overlap right out the gate. Last week,
Hmm.
no overlap. So this week with quarterbacks and tight ends, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if we get lucky. It's kind of this was a tough week to pick on him, but
Yeah, it was.
for biggest surprise, I'm going with David and Joku. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
I just was talking about him. I've been staring at him on my bench, just killing it this year. He's currently the tight end six. And he started the year outside the top 20 in each of the first three games.
Hmm.
So it was like, textbook kind of David and Joku stuff. And then he ends up with seven top 10 weeks, including four top fives. And he's currently on a 3 week streak of being top five. So he's crushing it right now.
Yeah.
And so it's helpful for him that he's fourth in the league in targets for tight ends, but his catch rate is only 66%, which isn't really elite. That's kind of really disappointing. You want
Hmm.
to catch more than 2/3 of your balls, but what he is doing that's kicking ass is his yards after the catch. He's leading the league for tight ends with 493,
Wow.
and that's 7.1 per reception, which is
Lot.
pretty incredible. Um, so yeah, it's wild. That number is third best amongst tight ends, and he's actually leading tight ends with the missed tackles force category with 19. So this category is like biggest surprises though, and I guess this might not be a surprise to everyone because his ADP was tight end nine.
Mm.
So congratulations to those of you who are David and Joku believers. I'm not really one of them. I'd kind of written him off pretty hard. I know he's like on paper should be kick ass, but I'd kind of put him in like the OJ Howard kind of
Mm.
realm of things. Even though he was, the tight end 10 last year, I couldn't get past that. And now I'm looking at him. He's only 27 years old. I think, yeah, man, I think he was one of those guys that I just lost patience on, but it was extremely surprising to me how well he's been doing, especially to close the season. He's just crushing it right now. So had to stop and give him that little surprise prop there.
Yeah, no, he was this was a hard week to pick, but I had a lot of like honorable mentions for surprise, and he was in there. I actually ended up using him somewhere else, which I'll just kind of get
Oh,
into now. I have him in Who You Selling, for kind of the exact reasons you're talking about. It's weird the QB situation in 2024. It's like, oh, we don't even want Deshaun Watson back. Like, can we just keep Joe Flacco? And then that's how we'll get our David Njoku points. Like, so to me, he's only been a top 10 tight end 3 times in his whole career with that going on right now. And with the peak value of him winning a lot of people championships right now because he's been going
oh yeah.
off in the playoffs. I kind of have him as a sell, but because I just think the value is incredibly high right now. But I'm with you in the surprise factor. I would not have expected him to be carrying. I traded for him in our defensive player league. Now that didn't end up working out for me, but it wasn't his fault that it didn't work out. Like he dropped 30 points for me and it was like the only player playing in my playoff game. But anyway, so I'm with you. So yeah, real quick into those honorable mentions. There were enough names that I did want to just throw out a bunch of random guys who I thought had really good seasons that maybe we weren't expecting. So I've got Jordan Love in there, Brock Purdy, Sam
Oh yeah.
Laporta. I don't think we expected to be as good as he is. I mean, both of you thought early on we were both on him being rookie tight end of the year. I kind of got on the Musgrave train, but I don't think we thought he would be arguing or battling for the top three. I've got Sam Howell in here. Maybe the Commanders don't end up riding with him, but if you did in fantasy, he probably helped you out. Jake Ferguson has had a really good season. And then I threw two vets in there, Baker Mayfield and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Just kind of coming back from the dredges and coming back and being really valuable. I mean, Wilson is a what a top. 15 quarterback or whatever he is right now. I
think it's
don't.
like 8.
Yeah, is he eight? Okay, so top 10. So yeah, just throwing those out there. But to me, the biggest surprise, it was CJ Stroud.
Oh yeah,
It had to be. Like
absolutely.
so you and I were on, we thought he was the best rookie quarterback. I thought Richardson had the highest ceiling, but Stroud had like all everything there. But we're talking like let's compare him to two of the like best rookie QBs coming in, Andrew Luck and Joe Burrow. So I'm not just gonna list off all their numbers because then it would just be me listing numbers and whatever. But Stroud was averaging more yards, more touchdowns, fewer interceptions than both those guys before he got injured, and he was the QB8. Andrew Luck had over 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. He was the QB7. And then Joe Burrow, I just did before he got hurt. He would have been the QB16, on pace for about 4,000 yards and right around the same touchdown to interception ratio as Stroud, except Stroud has 20 touchdowns now compared to his 13. So he's just at this electric pace and he's not throwing picks like Andrew Luck had 18 in year one when he was the QB7. Stroud is the QB8 when he got hurt, and he's only had 5 interceptions. Like he's coming out here and just lighting the world on fire and looking like he's been playing in the league for years. And it's just, I think like we're all impressed by it, but I just kind of want to highlight, like, I just think like it's still the most impressive, one of the most impressive things that's happened this season, if not the most.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to go that way because it is extremely surprising, but it wasn't a surprise to me, right?
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
wasn't a surprise to you.
This
Well,
hot is a surprise. I didn't think
yeah,
he'd be
this
like
it's pretty
this,
incredible,
you
man.
know.
I like that shout out. Shout out to the Texans though, man, for like saying, selling their future picks on the like the promise of them being dog shit for this year and then just
Hmm.
going out there and crushing it.
Ballin'.
Yeah, man. So that's pretty impressive. But dude, yeah, Stroud to the moon, man. I
Hmm.
was been reviewing all the keep trade cut charts and just the stats and everything. And yeah, dude, people love him. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
So I hope that it sticks around. There's not a lot of pop and drops in the quarterback department, not as hard as other positions.
Doesn't
So
seem like it. Yeah.
I look for him to hopefully just stay healthy and sustain that output, man. It's very fun.
Yeah,
It's
it's a lot
fun
of
thing
fun.
to it's fun to watch, fun to root for.
Hmm.
And yeah, man, very cool. Um, all right. Well then I'm going into our next category of
Hmm.
who do you have hope for the future? You think maybe they got some of their best ball ahead of them and
Yeah.
possibly I don't know. I this was weird. This whole situation was
This
weird,
is a weird
man.
one.
I went kind of weird with it. I know I like air older. I love my first year guys, but then it's like, okay, after year one, after you're not a rookie anymore, and I kind of skew old a little bit, and I'm doing it on this one because I'm going for Jared Goff.
Mm.
Feels like a strange pick. It's not really a hot take in this conversation, but I really do find the quarterbacks to be a little cut and dry at the moment.
Hmm.
There's not a ton of movement. It's just varying levels of success and disappointing games or injury. So the thing with him is right now he's a quarterback 8. Russell Wilson is quarterback 9.
Okay.
And on keep trade cut, he's at quarterback 18 and he's only 29, right? Jared
Hmm.
Goff feels like he's 34, but he's really only 29. And the hope for the future in this situation for me is that I think that when Ben Johnson leaves Detroit, I'm pretty sure that Goff's going to find a way to remain successful. And I think that other people don't believe that. So I don't know. I'm holding hope for him. He started out as like, just a stopgap for Detroit, or like he represented a financial burden to offset the Matthew Stafford trade, and he
Hmm.
was kind of like a lost cause. And now we're going like, back to back years looking pretty strong. This year alone, he's top three in adjusted completion percentage and tied for third in touchdowns, and he's top three in passing yards. And his passer grade from PFF is an
Really
83,
good.
which is
Yeah.
seventh. Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty incredible. Um, Let's see. I think he's got a pretty stable career right now. He's set up with Laporta and Gibbs and Amon Ra. So I just think that I'm buying his future. I
Hmm.
think that he can kind of weather the storm, and he's kind of coming into his stride as a badass. If you look through his career, he's actually a really consistent quarterback. Pretty good on the turnover. He only has 10 interceptions this year and like 2.3 turnover worthy play percentage. So I think he's playing clean ball. And I think that team is balanced enough in the offensive weapons that he can just kind of thrive. He's not a superstar. He's not gonna, he's not a game changer in his own right, but
Hmm.
he definitely is a pretty solid quarterback. I think he's an awesome fantasy asset, man. A sleeper.
That's funny because I have him in the next section we were going to do,
What?
the old, cheap, and good. I
Oh
was
my
stretching the
gosh.
old there a little bit, as you
Yeah, you
pointed out.
were.
He's only 30, but like it feels like he's a lot older than that. And my thing is, you can get him for a second, definitely in a standard, and probably a second package in a super flex. Um, so, but you kind of hit the nail on the head on everything. Back-to-back seasons as a top 10 QB with under Dan Campbell. The Lions look set up to keep winning. I mean, they're young. They have a coach that works. They have an offense that works. They've got some pieces they need to fix, and I'm not saying they're untouchable, but I the matter of fact is Dan Campbell is already on the record as saying he wants Jared Goff back as the guy. So there you go. You're going to get a starting quarterback, especially in a super flex league that has top 10 potential. Yeah, he's not sexy. He's not the highest ceiling guy you could ever have, but you could have him as a consistent number two or even your number one, and then you have like a flashy guy that you're working on. So I'm with you, man. I'm not holding out hope for him necessarily. I just think he's good and I just want
Yeah.
him on my team. So I would just trade to go grab him. So yeah, no, I'm with you. I have him in a different category, but I'm all over Jared Goff right now. Going into hope, I went a little weird with this one. There are four names that I'm still holding out hope for. The honorable mentions here: Kyle Pitts, Justin Herbert, Chig,
Uh,
Okonkwo, and then Luke Musgrave. Just like
yep.
four guys that I thought could have had better seasons and I thought looked good actually. Like Chig's kind of turned it on too at the end of the year, which is nice. And then Musgrave lacerated his kidney right before the Green Bay offense really got going. So I really want to see that. And then I just think Pitts has looked like a stud. We just need a quarterback in Atlanta. But I'm going weird right here because I'm holding out hope for a guy that you've heard me talk about quite a bit. Um, it's Jelani Woods. All right.
Oh,
And listen, the Colts this season, their tight ends have combined for 106 targets, 63 receptions, 792 yards, and six touchdowns. And none of them have really been that dominant. None of them are that guy. They keep rotating them and they need a consistent future. Now, I do think they are a team that has a chance to draft a tight end as well, especially because part of the reason Woods isn't on the field is that he had a hang up on the hamstring. It was the other hamstring, weirdly. So, like, he was working in rehab on one and then hurt the other one. So, he had a back slide in rehab. Um, so we may not see him this year, but everything you read about him in Indy, all the articles you can pull up about him, he is still slotted as the future star tight end that they want. Like they saw enough flashes of him his rookie year that if he can be healthy, I think they're going to use him. And if they have a consistent guy, maybe they don't get all those stats that I just said, but they want to use a tight end in this offense. They target tight ends quite often. It's just that they don't have a guy that they consistently rely over to be over the middle. And so hopefully Woods can still be that guy. So to me, especially you can get him on waivers in most leagues right now. I'm probably the only idiot rostering him in a lot of dynasty leagues these days. But I think I think there's still a chance that he could explode. I mean, he's still young. I gotta pull up his actual age real quick, just to be uh right on par with what I'm trying to say. But he's young, and we've seen these tight ends start to pop later. I mean, Trey McBride, I mean, that was only 1 year, but Trey McBride came in. So actually, he's 25, so I guess he's not as young as I thought for a guy in his third season, second or third season. But I don't know, man. I just think there's still a chance that he ends up being the feature tight end there. Let's see around the draft what they do if they try to build this line, protect Richardson, and kind of just use Woods as that piece for now, then we can really see him pop next year. So I'm still holding out hope for him. I just couldn't really find anybody else that fit that category for me.
Yeah, no, that's a tricky one. I didn't go. Yeah, I want to put Chig in there,
I thought about
um,
Chig too. Oh yeah,
but
he was an honorable mention. That's what that means.
for sure, yeah, I should have gone the honorable mention route. I feel like that was it was there's a bunch of names that jumped out, but
Hmm.
they didn't all stick. Let's see. Alrighty. Sorry, I'm getting work calls,
You're
but I'm
good,
not on
man.
call, so I'm just gonna roll through and hope they disappear. But up next, we're going with age discount. So guys are getting
Mm,
older, so that you might be able to get them a more affordable level, but still, still think they got plenty to give. Um, I feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm not going deep enough, but I'm staying true to my beliefs on this episode. And I kept it with my heart. I went with Evan Ingram. Okay.
okay.
Did you go with Evan Ingram?
No, I went with Jared Goff.
Oh,
Uh,
yes. Oh, yeah, of
yeah, I
course.
had I had Evan Ingram in as an honorable mention for who you selling, actually.
Nice. That's hilarious. Well, I will combat that right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I've given him the age discount because he's 29, which isn't, I mean, it's not really a killer for tight ends, but he's definitely getting up there where he's at or past that peak age. But his back-to-back seasons as a tight end five. Um,
Yeah.
see, his receiving grade is only a 72 though, and none of his stats really jump off the page. Maybe that's why
Hmm.
you're hating on him, that Yak per reception is only 4.8, his A dot is only 4.8, and missed tackles force is 13, which is okay, but for the amount of work he's getting, it's not that impressive, and he's only
Hmm.
got 3 touchdowns season.
Yeah.
But I think the thing he does have that you can't really put on stats, well, you can, but it's the trust of his team, man. It's extremely high usage
Hmm.
from Jacksonville. I mean, he's the number two tight end in catches with 88, and
Wow.
it's because he's got 23% of his team's target share, and he leads the team in targets with 124. And then last year was his first year with Jacksonville, and he had 17% of the team's targets. So with 98, it's like, I don't know, man. Right now, he's in the first of a 3-year deal with Jacksonville, and I think they trust him. I think they want everything to go through him. And back-to-back years of having success with this team and the opportunity to increase his fantasy output by getting a little more touchdown volume. I think it spells something pretty awesome right now. Keep trade cut. The gold standard has him at tight end 15, which I think is kind of definitely means that his value is below his actual fantasy output right now, in my opinion. So,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. My only thing with Njoku, or sorry, Ingram is worrying about. I just feel like Jacksonville still is looking for the alpha they want to run their offense through. I think they thought it was going to be Calvin Ridley, and it wasn't. And I think that's why Evan Ingram has exploded so much again this year. I think he's been good, like you're saying. And yeah, I could just see a situation where, like, even if he's good next year, he does have an out in his contract in 2025 for them to get rid of him. That sounds harsh. For them to move on. But yeah, I think just he's had two really good back-to-back years, and you could maybe get something out of him. And then if they do decide to kind of retool that offense and make it different. You're not left out in the cold if he starts losing that target share that you're talking about. But that target share in and of itself is impressive. So if he does end up keeping it, and there's no way he's going to be on the team at least through one more season in 2024. So if he carries that to next year, yeah, he could absolutely help you win a league. So in that route, I'm with you for sure.
But you want to sell him, huh?
Well, just because the value is high.
Oh, the value is so high, man. So, I mean, we've got through your age discount. Am I up for guys selling right now?
Yeah, because we already did my sell too, because I
Yeah.
did Njoku. So
Oh
it's
gosh,
you again, and then the free
I'm on the
agency.
spot. Well, I this was really kind of tricky for me, but I went two directions, and it's not really. I mean, there's no deep analysis. This is just kind of like how I feel about it. And you, I know, will agree with me because I've seen you living these suggestions. But Travis Kelce,
Mm,
okay,
yeah.
on obvious. I mean, yes, he is the man. He's
Hmm.
amazing. He's the best. But he is not going to be playing like this forever. And Kansas City, I don't even need to talk about Kansas City. We all know what's going on.
Hmm.
Um, they need more than a Travis Kelce and more than a 34-year-old tight end
Hmm.
to keep their team rolling. And I think that hopefully they can figure that out in the wide receiver room. But I do think that we're starting to see the beginning of the end
Hmm.
for the Kelsey. Obviously, 34 is an incredible age to be playing at that level.
Yeah.
35 would be, nearly unprecedented. 36, I think you're really playing with fire there. So
Hmm.
get top tight end value that he represents right now and move on. And then I have a quarterback on my list as well, and this is kind of a shocker for me. It hurts to say it
Uh-oh.
out loud, but I feel like Joe Burrow is a pretty solid sell right now.
Okay.
There's a lot of fantasy promise there, but I think you can replace him on your fantasy squad with his current value, and you might get a guy who is not going to miss a ton of time like every single year.
Hmm.
He just kind of it breaks my heart to see him struggle so much with the injuries.
Yeah, that's tough.
Both during the season and the off season. It's just I mean, I'm cheering for him, but as far as fantasy goes, I'm really glad that I picked up Stroud in the league that I
Yeah.
was relying on Burrow in. It makes me feel a lot better, and it makes me feel like I magically traded up, and now I'd be happy to recoup some of that current Joe Burrow value because these young guys are coming in. Next year's class is going to be hot.
Yeah.
Um, it's time to kind of just fresh start it, if you ask me. So
Yeah. I mean, part of the reason I'm in a championship with you is because I sold Joe Burrow at the beginning of the year. Now, different circumstances, I definitely thought that was going to be me kind of tanking on the year. Not tanking necessarily, but I didn't think it was going to end up in the championship. But I'm with you, man. I do think these in super flex leagues, these superstar quarterbacks a lot of time feel untouchable, and I don't think they should be. At least not the guys without premium rushing like to their game. They feel like I get it. Yeah, Joe Burrow is the guy. He is this without a doubt franchise quarterback that could take a bad team and make them a Super Bowl contender. But he doesn't do that for your fantasy team. Like it's different. Like he's still great for fantasy. Obviously, you want him. I took him as like the fourth overall pick, and when we did that super flex startup, so I get it. I just think if you get the right value, anybody should be movable, especially these guys, because like you're saying, that name carries so much weight right now that you could trade it coming off the injury, basically for probably equal value for what even without the injury, because people just look past quarterback injuries sometime unless they're like a rushing guy. So I'm with you, man. I think those are both good shouts. I sold Kelsey, didn't do so well in the league. I sold Kelsey, but I love the trade I did. So I'm with you. Even he, like, I don't think this would ever happen, but he even has like outs on his contract now. Like, there's potential. He's like talked about retirement. Like, you never know. It seems like it is time to get out on the Kelsey train. As good as he has been, and as hard as it is to let go, trust me, I'm with you. I think it's time.
Hell yeah.
Um,
It's
so
heartbreaking.
since you're good, man. Since you talked for a while there straight,
Yeah.
I can do the kind of take the lead on this free agency preview for you. So coming up, I've got the quarterback expiring deals. And then I didn't have any cut candidates for quarterbacks this time, but so for expiring deals for quarterbacks, not crazy sexy, but we've got Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, and then I threw Drake Browning in there because he's showed enough that potentially a team could kind of look to go for him. Um, I think Baker ends up staying in Tampa. Like they already said, or Tampa executives have said they want him back. He seems to mutually want back. So I think that one gets done. But I think the rest of these guys could pretty much be on the move. I think it's time. Minnesota, I think, would feels like it's time to move on and try something new. Tannehill is definitely gone. They're going to roll with Levis, I would think. Winston isn't going to sit behind Carr, and Carr is locked into the Saints there. And then Browning's kind of this wild card, depends on how he finishes. But I didn't see much else in way of free agent quarterback news. So, did you have
No,
any hot
no,
takes
it's
you wanted to throw out?
no, it's pretty dry, man. I do think Baker's gonna get some love.
Hmm. Yeah, he's
So,
looked good, man. He's been really good. So going over to the tight ends, then expiring deals for tight ends, we've got Hunter Henry, popped at the beginning of the year, not so much towards the end. Dalton Schultz, Mike Gesicki, Gerald Everett, and then I threw Noah Fant in there because he's still relatively young. I'm still interested in that. But I did have some cut candidates. I do have two, and they're bigger names. Um, Darren Waller. I know that he was just signed to the Giants, but he already has an out where they could save it basically just a little bit less than they would have to pay him, which is like 6.7 is what they would save. So like there's potential there. They're just such a mess with the Giants. I'm not sure what they're going to want to do. And then Mark Andrews is another guy. I don't think either of these are going to happen. I was kind of digging at straws for content here, but Mark Andrews, they would save 7.1 million to move on from Mark Andrews. He is about to be 30 years old. It did sustain another injury. Like you, maybe they move that piece. I don't think so. I actually have him projected to do pretty well next year. I think the Ravens as a whole are going to be really good, as we'll find out very quickly when we get into our top tens of QBs and tight ends here in a minute. But those are the only two names that would have a real fantasy impact if they got moved or cut that I could find.
yeah, I didn't even think about that. Mark Andrews, man. I
Mhm.
sold Isaiah Likely for a third. It's mistakes, dude. Mistakes.
Yeah, he's starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, it's looking good, and probably makes him feel a lot better about the potential of
Yeah.
letting Andrews go. Interesting. So,
Well, then, so do you want to flash forward to 2024 and reveal our top 10 quarterbacks, then our top 10 tight ends, and let everybody
yes,
get back to the Christmas times?
absolutely, man. I'm ready for it. I'll let you start it off.
Okay, I went a little wild. I kind of alluded to it just a second ago. I went Lamar QB1 next year.
Okay.
I just think this year was a good preview of what they can do. I think Zay is a really nice piece that could develop in year two. They could add somebody again through the offense, maybe sign somebody that's going to contribute a little bit more than Odell. Although Odell has been good, so we've seen what they can be like with multiple receivers. And I actually think Mark Andrews, when he comes back from the injury, hopefully he will be all right
Yeah.
and um, should be good to go, hopefully. And I actually have him projected to do fairly well next year as well. So yeah, I like Lamar QB1 next year.
Okay. I like that. I got Lamar at three.
Okay,
So I'm going with Josh Allen
that's
at
fair.
number one. Yeah, it's surprising. Like he seems like he's struggling, but he's
He's
really not.
not.
I mean, he's got 27 touchdowns. He's got 13 rushing touchdowns. Which it's like,
hmm
don't I don't believe that. I don't believe it. If you were like, hey, he's got two fewer rushing touchdowns than Jalen Hurts. I'd be like, that sounds made up, but it's 100% true. So
Yeah.
what are
Wild.
the odds?
Mhm. Yeah,
But
Jalen Hurts breaking the rushing record for QBs and Lamar's like right behind him, you know?
mhm.
So, no, I'm with you. Josh Allen, like the Bills, I was one of the guys saying the Bills didn't look very good and now they're rolling, but I have Josh Allen at two. So
Okay.
like, yeah, I think he's gonna be right there. Keep doing the things he's been doing. I've got no issue with that. So, or sorry, Josh Allen is behind Jalen Hurts, not Lamar Jackson. Sorry. My bad. In rushing touchdowns. But
Right. Yep. Hmm.
I have Josh Allen second, so I'm with you there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
Well,
so then you've got Lamar third. So I
yep.
am going. I went Richardson, Anthony Richardson third here. I think if we get a full season of him healthy, he was already putting up points like it was his job, which it is. So I like that potential. I think we could see him explode in year two. It's probably a bit of an overshot, but it was more to just say that I think he'll be in the top 10, pushing the top five. So I've got him slotted right here just for fun.
Okay. I've got him at number two. So
Oh,
there
shit.
you
I
go.
skipped your
Yeah.
two. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
all good. I'm all over the place. Yeah. Just watching the fearless and, the 18-yard
hmm
touchdown runs and just wild shit that we've never seen before. Like he seems amazing. And so I think if he can stay healthy, and whatever happens, I think he can stick it out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. So that's good to know that it's not just me out there on a limb. Yeah. So
Yeah.
cool, cool. So yeah,
So
that's what I've got at three, and then you have
okay.
Lamar at three, right?
I have Lamar at three. Yep.
Okay, cool. So I put Jalen Hurts in at four. I don't see the Eagles crashing that hard next year at all. And with his rushing ability in them, unless they take the tush push out, maybe.
That's why I've got him at four instead
Yeah.
of because I feel like, yeah, he's got number one potential if the tush push is still, and then the brotherly shove, as the kids say. But
Yeah.
I look for possible, taking some of those touchdowns away.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's fair, I guess. So five, I've got Patrick Mahomes. Like he's not gonna stay out of the even right now, he's in the top what 10. So
Yeah.
on a pretty what quote unquote down year. So I think they get him some more weapons. Xavier Legette potentially, something like that would be fun.
Hey.
So yeah, I think Mahomes stays around the top 10 or around the top five. So
Yeah, I got him at five as well.
nice. Cool. So then I got Justin Herbert at number six.
Okay.
I think the coach comes in, new coach will come in and kind of help him out. I mean, he was balling out in terms of fantasy wise, some not consistently good, especially towards the end there, but he was still putting up decent numbers. So I think he'll just come back firing next year. We'll get an offensive minded coach in there and try to help him out, I think.
Nice. I have him at eight,
Okay,
actually. So
that's
I've
fair.
got Stroud at
Okay,
six.
fair.
Yeah, just because, I'm excited the way he's popping off. I think he probably might get some assets, maybe a running back possibly or
Yeah.
something, or just some line helpers. Whatever they do, that offense is already cooking. It can only get
hmm
better. So I put him there.
Yeah, I have Stroud at seven.
Okay, there you
So
go.
like right
Gotcha.
underneath you. I'm
Mhm.
I'm with you. Everything you said, I think we'll just run into year two, keep build another line around him, get him a running game going, and just watch him soar. I've got Justin Fields at eight. Oh shit,
Okay.
we need to do your seven, huh? Yeah,
My
so
set.
who
Okay.
do you have at seven?
I've got Tua.
Okay,
And
that's
I mean,
fair.
it's just like Tyreek
Yeah,
and
he
Jalen Waddle.
as long as he
So
has those guys, he's gonna be flirting with the top 10 for sure.
yeah, he's the number one PFF rated quarterback this year. So
Yeah.
just, maybe a chain, a couple of dump offs to the house. Feels like it's just gonna keep
Pad his
keeping on,
stats.
keeping on.
That's fair. That's probably going to be one of my misses from the top 10. I probably should have had him in there. But so I have Justin Fields at eight. I think the Bears will end up riding with him. And I think potentially, unfortunately for Packers fans everywhere, I think we're setting up for opportunity for Marvin Harrison Jr. to be a Bear. And then you have Fields, Marvin Harrison
Wow.
Jr., DJ Moore.
Wow.
and let Soar run and throw it all over the field because you know you could. It's not like Fields has looked bad, especially the Bears are heating up towards the end of the year. They may even have a new coach next year. So I don't know. I'm still worried about the Bears. I think they people got really excited about them this year, and I think they might have just been a bit early. I still think there's a lot of ballers on that field, and so I've got Fields at 8 here.
Okay, yep, I've got him at number 10.
Okay, makes
So,
sense.
and then see, I had Herbert at 8.
Herbert at 8. Gotcha. So I've got Jordan Love
Oh
at
God,
number 9. I do. I mean, he's the number what? Number
7.
7 QB right now. So I don't know why I don't have track of these things. He's the number 7 QB right now. I think they're going to get better next year. I don't know that they're going to add that many more weapons. I think Green Bay feels pretty good about who they have as pass catchers right now, but improve the lineup a little bit, one more year of comfortability, hopefully get a new defense that's not allowing crazy amounts of points to garbage quarterbacks. And I think we'll be all right. I think Jordan Love, he looks good enough to me to be, I don't know that he's got like the ceiling of these other guys, but I think he can flirt with the top 10.
All right, man. I like that. I've 9, I've got Trevor Lawrence, you know.
Okay.
I feel like this team, he's only got 19 passing touchdowns. Um, it just feels like they struggle so much through the air in the red zone that they got to figure that out. And he's got to get, up in with the rest of these guys. He's throwing 3,700 yards. He needs to be 25 plus touchdowns at that rate. And if
Yeah.
he does that, he's easy a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably whiffed on him too.
No biggie.
But no, yeah, Lawrence, I mean, we need to see it. It is starting to get weird that he's kind of like not really popping like the guy we think he's going to be. I mean, we see it in stretches, but not consistently. Um, so cool. For 10, I had Dak Prescott. I just
Oh shit.
yeah, I think the Cowboys will be good again next year, at least on offense. I don't see he's got CeeDee Lamb, so he'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that feels like, yep. Feels like we should have done top 12. I'll throw Jordan Love and him in there and call it good.
There you go.
So
Who you got
that's
at
funny.
10? Did you?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right. So for tight ends, then I've got Sammy Ballgame, Sam Laporta, number 1 next year. He's number 3 right now. One more season going. I don't see why he can't be the number 1. I mean, TJ Hawkinson's probably going to miss quite a bit of time tearing his ACL and NCL in week 17 or whatever we're on, 16. That's not going to be great for him. We already talked about the downfall of Kelsey. Kittle's been great, but Laporta's been out dueling him, and Andrews has been up and down. Those are the guys that I would argue have a chance to beat Kittle, maybe Dallas Goddard, but I don't know. Sorry, Laporta. But so I've got Laporta being the number 1 tight end next year.
Uh, I got Kelsey on a bounce back, dude.
Okay.
I'm on both sides of that fence as
That's
just
fair.
because the potential, man. I
It's
think,
yeah, it's hard. I
either
mean,
break up in the off season, eliminate that distraction. Let's keep going. But I got Laporta at number 2.
Okay, gotcha. I actually have Mark Andrews at number 2, kind of going in line with my Lamar Jackson number 1 QB. I think Mark
Gotcha.
Andrews is a really big part of that offense, when healthy, and I just think it'll get rolling next year. He was doing really well before he got hurt this season, so I think we just continue that going into next year if he doesn't get
Nice.
hurt again.
Yeah. Again. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But okay, who's number 3 for you?
I got George Kittle.
Okay.
I think one more season, 1 or 2 more seasons of him being dominant. He's a little younger than I thought. Not
Yep.
he's still like older, but I just with the way the offense looks in San Francisco, he's gonna get opportunities, just maybe less consistent. So I got him sitting at 3.
Okay, I've got Hawkinson.
Okay.
So
I
just be,
Go ahead.
yeah, just because of the success he's been having,
Hmm.
it's pretty incredible. He only has 5 touchdowns on the year, which feels weird. I feel like he must have like 20 red zone drops, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's the guy they target in all of the high stakes situations. So
Hmm.
I feel like that number's got plenty of room to go up.
Yeah, I'm with you. I stayed away from Hawkinson just because I don't know how long he's going to be out, and I don't know how much of the year he's going to miss next year. So I just
Yeah,
kind of left him
he's
off
going
the
to be
list for
QB next
now.
year.
Yeah. So I've got, I mean, he could, if he's healthy and plays a good chunk of the season, he absolutely will be a top five tight end. I just kind of
Hmm.
left the name off the list for now, though. Um, I got Travis Kelce at four, so I don't think the downfall will be that far. I just think he'll be kind of more, instead of being head and shoulders above these other three guys, he's just more like right along with them instead, of where he's been dominating the past few years. So
That's where I got Mark Andrews for
gotcha.
obvious reasons.
Okay. Five, I've got Dallas Goddard. Hopefully
Oh
a
wow.
not injury plague season. I think he's been playing well. If you look at his averages, his average points, they're pretty good compared to the other guys around him. So, or like the guys at the front of the tight end rankings this season. Like I can get it for you. Give me 1 second, everybody. This is great
So
content, I know. But
Hawkinson, Kelsey, Laporta, Ingram, Kittle, and Njoku.
so
Uh,
I guess he's not doing as good as I thought now.
16th right now.
Yeah, I guess that's not great. But I still think he's going to do well. I mean, he had that stretch in the middle of the season where he was looking good. Maybe that's just burned into my memory. Maybe I think he's a better player than what he should be.
He's
But
underutilized in that offense.
I think we have a bounce back from him. I thought he was doing a little better, so that's maybe I should have him a little lower, but I'm fine with it. I like Dallas Goddard, and maybe we feature him more in the offense next season. But
Yeah, yeah, he needs it. I've got him at 7.
okay,
So let's
gotcha.
see. I think okay. Next on my list is Kittle.
Kittle at five. Okay, makes
Yep,
sense. I've got Kyle Pitts here at six.
yep.
I think
Same.
I think Atlanta goes for a vet QB. I think that's kind of the way they're set up. Their offensive line has been good, not great. Not as good defending the run as they were last year. But I think they're kind of set up that they need somebody to run that offense, maybe a Kirk Cousins, maybe somebody like that. And that if that happens, I think Pitts has made enough. He's looked great. Like if you're watching the Falcons games, I've had a lot of eyes on the Falcons this year. Like he's making these spectacular catches every week and he's open a lot. It's just that offense doesn't work. So I mean, I know I've been banging that drum for 3 years, but just one more. I think we'll get it next year where we'll see him be closer to the guy everybody was thinking he'll be.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got him right there as well.
Oh, perfect. So seven then. I've got Trey McBride, actually.
Okay.
I think a full season of being the starting tight end there. I think I'm with you. I think they keep Kyler Murray. We go one more
Mhm.
season, and we just utilize him as a full feature point of the offense instead of at the beginning splitting with Zach Ertz. Then Zach Ertz gets hurt, then he comes back. It's this weird dynamic. No, it's just McBride, tight end one. Let's ride.
Nice. Yeah, McBride I have at 9.
Okay.
So let's see. Right here, I've got Darren Waller.
Okay. Fair.
I just expect him to
Turn it
be,
around.
yeah, just have extreme usage in that. They still don't have a wide receiver that's really doing anything.
It's fair.
Uh, so I feel like he could fit that role. That team, I feel like the problems with that team weren't him.
Yeah.
And maybe if they get some of that squared away, they're gonna have to. I mean, just as far as like contracts go
Mm.
and all that, he's gonna have to get more involved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm with you. If he stays there, he should. I don't have him in the top 10. Maybe I'm too out on him, but eight, I have Jake Ferguson. I
okay.
think he's been playing really, really well, and I think he'll just kind of earn more time next year. Um, I mean, he's the tight end. I I'm such an
9.
idiot. He's the tight end nine. You got it for me. Oh, see
Okay.
right here it says, oh, that's in standard. He's the tight end eight in standard.
Hey,
Anyway, he's just been good, man, and we've seen various people do really well with Dak Prescott. Jason Witten, we saw Dalton Schultz, and now we could see Jake Ferguson just kind of ride in and be that back end of the top 10 tight end who has some down weeks because I mean we're talking tight ends. The top 10 is not as strong as other positions. We're really the strong ones are the top five. So I think he could absolutely be consistent enough to fight with that spot.
Oh yeah. This is where I had Goddard. So
Okay, gotcha. I've got Dalton Kincaid at 9. I
okay.
think he starts. I don't think Knox is gone next year. It doesn't make sense in his contract. I was looking at that today, but I do think Kincaid takes over as the tight end one there. And maybe we start to see the Bills sort of transition away from the type of offense they've been running. I think they'll lose Diggs soon. I mean, you have Josh Allen, so that's the guy, but we heard all offseason about Dalton Kincaid from
Hmm.
Josh Allen, so I just think it's this year, not or it's next year, not this year, that we're going to see that.
Gotcha. Yeah, this was the hard part, man. For Waller, pretty much kicked Kincaid off of my list, and it was mostly about the Knox thing.
Gotcha.
Um, but right here is where I had McBride at
Gotcha. Okay.
9.
Makes sense. 10, you can call me a homer, call me whatever you want. I'm
Oh,
going
there you
Musgrave
go.
slash
Oh,
Tucker Craft. Whoever
good
ends up
combination.
being the tight end one there. Not necessarily because I think Kraft has shown enough that he may end up just taking that job, kind of like what you were saying at the beginning of the year. You kept saying over and over that he was the best tight end in that room. And I may have whiffed on that. What I haven't whiffed on is that Green Bay wants to use their tight end a lot more in this new offensive scheme. And I do think Musgrave would have popped off had he been healthy when the offense really started going. So I think whoever gets the dominant amount of work there will end up being flirting with the top 10. And so I just haven't slotted in right here at the top 10. But you were right. I mean, Tucker Craft looks like an
Ah,
animal when he's out there. So, and
I like
maybe
him.
have another Hernandez Gronk situation. Who knows? But
Sure.
without the
We'll see.
murder, hopefully.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, let's keep it clean. I've got Komet in at number
Okay.
10, man.
He
He
was
currently
11.
is. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I've got Kincaid, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, and my whole thing with him is like he just mops up touchdown numbers, especially you're talking like Marvin Harrison, DJ
Mhm.
Moore, like he's totally going to be the underlooked guy, and
Yeah.
he's going to capitalize on it. He's just like he won't die. He's like a zombie fantasy asset, man.
It is wild.
So
You keep thinking he's going to be gone, and then he's just still here getting like 10 to 15 points a week. But
straight
yeah, you're
up.
not wrong. Yeah, he arguably should be in here. I just went another direction, but I'm with you. He's gonna feast. I think Justin Fields will be good with him next year. So there you have it. There's our 2023 season review. We will come back with a review of the championship. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
Mhm.
tough. I mean, I got CD Lamb, but you've got Prescott, so there's that like negating factor. I think I'd rather be on the wide receiver side of that than the quarterback side, but
Yeah, my that whole roster has been like my bench players are really good too. It's just
mhm.
like for me, it's about setting the right lineup, man. I know I can beat you. I just don't know I'm going to start the combination that will beat you.
Gotcha. See,
So
I'm the exact opposite. I've pretty much that league I basically don't move except for bye weeks. It's the same
nice.
starting roster the whole year.
There's so much. I got like Josh Jacobs is on the bench if he's back,
Mm.
and who
Oh,
even
that's
knows,
tough.
man. Drake
Yeah,
London's in there, and I've just got options, but it's all good, man. Whoever wins, you know, we're all getting fresh duds on that one.
we are getting some fresh duds. I'm gonna have to trade for somebody right after if I
I
lose and
tried to
come in
pick up
second.
Nick Bolton, and it told me my league didn't support scoring for that position, so I couldn't do
Damn,
it.
that
Fuck.
sucks.
Gotta just win the whole thing, man.
All
But
right. Well, until next time, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next week.
see ya.
I took a lease out on your heart.